Now, let's look at how we solve simultaneous equations using the substitution method. Now, this is how the substitution method goes. In both equations that you are given, you have two variables. You have the x and the y. Now, the first thing that happens is you are going to choose one equation from the equations that you are given. You're going to choose one equation from the equations that you are given. Then, from that equation that you have chosen, then you are going to choose which of the two variables are you going to make the subject of the formula. You then choose which of the two variables that you have are you going to make the subject of the formula. Then, after making that variable the subject of the formula, you are then going to substitute it into the second equation or the other equation that you didn't pick. And then you are going to simplify that equation, and simplifying that equation, it has to give you the value of one variable. This is what I mean. I'm going to choose the first equation. Then in the first equation, I'm going to choose x. And I'm going to take that x and make it the subject of the formula. Now, let me give you a quick tip. Now, it is always easier to pick a term that has a coefficient of 1 to make it the subject of the formula. It is always easier to pick the equation that has a term that has a coefficient of 1. It's easier to take that equation and make it the subject of the formula and substitute it into the other equation. So it is easier to work with coefficients of 1. So try by all means that if you find the coefficient of 1 somewhere in your equation, pick that equation and make it the subject of the formula. Now we're going to make x the subject of the formula there. So making x the subject of the formula, we are going to get our x is equals to -1 minus 2y. -1 minus 2y, because we want to make x the subject of the formula. So it means you have to take everything on the other side of the equal sign. And doing that, you are going to have your x is equals to -1 minus 2y. Then the next thing that follows is take this x. Take that x that you have made and substitute it into the next equation. So rewrite that equation. Instead of writing x, you are not writing x, you are writing this x, because now your new x is -1 minus 2y. Now we are going to rewrite our equation. Rewriting our equation, we get 2x. X is -1 minus 2y. Then we continue rewriting our entire equation. Then we get minus y. Then this is equals to 3. Then simplify your equation. The 2 multiplies everything that is inside the brackets. So it means we are going to get 2 times -1, we get a -2. 2 times -2y, we get a -4y. Then minus y, then this is equals to 3. Then continue simplifying your equation, work out like terms. So it means now we have -2, -4y, and -y. They are like terms, so work them out. So working out negative 4y minus y gives us a negative 5y. Then this is equals to 3. Then solve that little equation. To solve that little equation, take the 2 this side on the other side of the equal sign, or collect like terms, because negative 2 and 3, they are like terms. Then rewrite your equation. Rewriting our equation, we now get negative 5y is equals to 3 plus 2. Because this negative 2, when it gets on the other side of the equal sign, it is going to become positive. So we now get negative 5y is equals to 3 plus 2. Then continue simplifying that. Negative 5y, it means is equals to 5. Then we want to find the value of y. So divide everything by negative 5. Divide even this side by negative 5. So like terms will cancel out. So then it means your y is going to be equals to negative 1. Because 5 divided by negative 5 gives us negative 1. Now you have found the value of y. Now find the value of x. Find the value of x. So to find the value of x, you go back to that equation that you made the subject of the formula before. Go back to that equation and substitute the value of y there to get the value of x. So we are going to rewrite this equation. So it is going to become x is equals to negative 1 minus 2y. We now have the value of y. The value of y is here, is negative 1. So it means we now substitute or insert negative 1 there. Then simplify your expression. Simplifying our equation, we now get x is equals to negative 1 plus 2. Because negative 2 times negative 1 gives us a positive 2. So then solving it, we get x is equals to 1. And then that's your final answer for x. So those are the 2 solutions for your 2 equations. Then I'll do another example. Let's take 5x minus 2y is equals to 7. Then 2x plus y is equals to 6. We are still using the substitution method. So earlier on, I said you pick one equation from these 2 equations that you have. But the equation that you have to pick to make life easier for you, pick an equation where there is a coefficient of 1 in one of the variables. Like in this case, there's a 1 here, but the 1 is not written. So pick that equation that has a coefficient of 1. Then take that equation and make that term or that variable that has a coefficient of 1, make it the subject of the formula. So I'm going to take the 2x plus y is equals to 6 and make y the subject of the formula. And then to make y the subject of the formula, it's fairly simple. Take everything this side, so that this side you are only left with your y. And then on the other side of the equal sign, you now have 6 minus 2x. So that's your first equation. Now take that equation that you have made y the subject of the formula. Take it and substitute it into the other equation. You don't pick the same equation that you used before, because if you can do that, you're going to have just a crazy equation. So pick the equation that you didn't pick before. So take the y, substitute it in equation 1, because we didn't work with equation 1 before. Then rewrite equation 1. Now, rewriting equation 1, we now get 5x minus 2y. Now, when we get there, we don't insert that y, because we already have a y here. So we say 2y. Our y is 6 minus 2x. Then continue with the equation. Then everything is equals to 7. Then simplify your equation. Remove the brackets. So removing the brackets, we get 5x minus 12 plus 4x is equals to 7. Because the negative 2 multiplies the 6 inside the bracket and we get the negative 12. The negative 2 multiplies the negative 2x and we get the positive 4x. And then we work out like terms. Our like terms are 5x and 4x. So 5x plus 4x. 5x plus 4x minus 12 is equals to 7. 5x plus 4x gives us 9x minus 12 is equals to 7. Continue working it out or simplifying it. We have to take the 12 this side because the 12 is a like term to 7. They both don't have variables. So it means we now get 9x is equals to 12 plus 7. Then we get 9x is equals to 12 plus 7. 12 plus 7 gives us a 19. So solving for x, we divide both sides by 9, divide both sides by 9. And this 9 is going to cancel that 9 because we have like terms. Then our x is going to be equals to 19 divided by 9. 19 divided by 9 gives us a 2.1. So that's the value of your x. Now, find the value of your y. Now, to find the value of your y, you go back to that equation that you made before, the one that you made the subject of the formula. This one. We go back to that equation. So it says y is equals to 6 minus 2x. So we rewrite that equation, but now this time we are substituting or we are putting in the new value of x that we have. So it means we are going to have y is equals to 6 minus 2x. Our x is 2.1. So we put a 2.1 there. Then continue simplifying, remove the brackets. So y is equals to 6 minus 2 times 2.1. 2 times 2.1, it gives us 4.2. So work that out. So the final answer for your y becomes 6 minus 4.2. 6 minus 4.2 gives us 1.8. So it means the value of your y is 1.8. And that's how we solve a simultaneous equation using the substitution method.